I was excited to hear all of the things that Kamala is promising for black men. It's not shameless. It's not shameless.
Oh, no. She's not trying to buy votes. We should point that out.
Of course not.
Some people will think that when they hear you say it like that.
Right.
But no.
Right. And don't worry about that pesky Constitution, that the fact that all of these things would be unconstitutional. They'll jam it through somehow or another, Hey, we're talking free weed for black people. Can you, if I even said that as a joke, I'd be off the air. You know what? You want to buy their vote? You want to buy black men's vote? Give them free weed. You'd be banned.
Yeah. It sounds like a David Duke campaign proposal.
It does. It really does. It's like, can you imagine who stood up? Who stood up? Please tell me it wasn't a white guy. They stood up like, I got an idea. How about we give them crack pipes?
It's that pathetic.
It really is.
And was there someone that spoke up at some point and said, guys, you want to try to buy black votes with drugs? I want to make sure I'm understanding the proposal.
Isn't it kind of racist to say that black people like drugs?
They like drugs and they can't get identification.
Yeah,
those are two campaign planks.
That's unbelievable. Well, they're two stones, Stu, to be able to figure out identification.
Right.
They need it to buy their big, huge, 10-gallon malt liquor.
It's unbelievable.
Beers.
They might as well try all these proposals.
I mean, it's crazy.
And you wonder, they're like, hey, well, these are the types of plans that are going to get black voters. Actually, maybe it's this type of thinking that had you lose them in the first place.
Right. It might be.
I'm just going to throw it out there.
It might be. Yeah. But you know what? Hey, if it works, let's offer free chopsticks and driving lessons for Asians.
That's basically what they're doing.
It is what they're doing.
That's basically it.
It's what they're doing. Now, white women, you get Ugg boots and Starbucks gift certificates. Venezuelans, we already gave them free apartment buildings in Colorado.
That's true. Well, they worked for those, I will say. They did work for those.
We have them covered. I was thinking of Native Americans, and I thought we should give them sheets and pillowcases to go with the... And then I thought, no, we shouldn't remind anybody about the blankets. Just maybe more casinos. More casinos. Now, that's not racist. That's not racist. What?
No, that's just going after individual voters that they care about so much. Oh, it's despicable.
Barbacoa tacos for Hispanics. Nothing wrong with that.
Okay.
Nothing wrong with that. And white men? Probably nothing. Just beat it, dude. Or, wait a minute. White men get free trans surgeries.
Ooh.
There you go. Because that's what they really want.
Mm-hmm.
That's the white man talking. I'm mad enough to say I want to be a woman. That's how man I am. So man up. Become a woman. I think that's great. By the way, J.D. Vance did come out yesterday, and, I said that if I ever heard of anything that was, unconstitutional, dictatorial, I would out him, and I would stand with the Constitution, and I'm going to do it because J.D. Vance came out yesterday and said, well, Grater's is now making a Skyline chili-flavored ice cream, and they're going to ban it. And as much, see, I think chili flavored ice cream would make me vomit. Hey, I'm going to stick up for that ice cream. You know what I mean? You're not going to ban any ice cream on my watch, J.D. Vance. Not one. Honestly, that's what they would do. He actually did make that tweet as a joke, but that's what they would say. They would say, see, he's serious.
Right.
He's serious. He's going to go after ice cream flavors that he doesn't like.
I heard a whole report this morning, Glenn, about how Donald Trump just stood there, played DJ for 45 minutes, playing song after song after song.
For no reason.
No mention of the fact that there were medical emergencies in the crowd.
Right.
I mean, how can you tell that story without mentioning why he stopped taking questions during the town hall? Because there was someone potentially dying in front of him? But having some sort of medical emergency? Didn't even mention it.
But he doesn't care. He doesn't care about people with medical issues. No. He doesn't care. You know, what did he do? He danced. Somebody's dying, and he's dancing with YMCA. What a monster that guy is. So Charlemagne, the God, which I don't know, at some point in my life, you know, I might worry that might be a little blasphemous. There might be a question or two on the final exam. You know what I'm saying? You didn't think that maybe you shouldn't call yourself. But, I mean, it's working out for him in life. So,
well, since he spelled the THA, does that get him out of any of these problems?
And the isn't capitalized, even though the G is capitalized in God.
Okay.
So, but I think the THA, I don't even know what that means. It's like,
the?
That's my out with God. That's my out. I didn't call myself God. I said, the God. So,
news for you, if you put A at the end of certain words, it doesn't always help.
Well, it does some people. It does. Maybe he's got the A thing going on this word too. I'm not really sure. So anyway, he was doing a town hall with Kamala, and you know, you gotta give it. You know, she was great. She's for some reparations. You know, which is great. Let me give you some of the things that she was talking about yesterday. I love the fact, I don't have the audio, but I do have the text of somebody that called in, you know, and spoke to the God, and said, you know, I have to tell you, I'm a little concerned. Because I think Donald Trump is going to round everybody who's not white. He's going to round them all up and put them in camps. And she said, you ready? See? I mean, you get it. You get it.
You get it?
You get it.
Okay.
You get it.
I got to understand, the right are the conspiracy theorists, but every non-white person going into camps is you get it from the presidential candidate?
You get it because all he's doing is peddling fear.
Oh,
so you're afraid that she didn't say he's not going to.
Right. She didn't try to dissolve the fear at all?
No. That's why you should vote for me. Wow. Because you're afraid you're going to be round up and put into a camp.
But that's an insane fear.
Yeah, it is.
There was like, hey, by the way, there's no chance he does this. And by the way, the only people who have done it are progressives.
Yeah.
That wasn't mentioned by Kamala?
No, she did mention that this is the very kind of laws that have happened before. They rounded up the Japanese. And when she says they, I think she means we.
We.
The Democrats did that.
They didn't mention that, though.
No. Well, they don't like to mention things like the Klan. That was an arm of the Democratic Party, you know, and they kind of leave out the part that, it was us in our big eugenics time. You know, eugenics part 1. We're kind of in eugenics part 2 right now. But, we rounded up the Japanese because they're sub people, you know. Can't trust them. You know, they're shifty and they're short.
And that totally goes against their just announced chopsticks program.
Exactly right.
They were trying to buy some of their votes. Yeah.
Reparations. So we got to give them some chopsticks and maybe some rice. I don't think that's offensive to Asian people, do you?
No, it's central to the way they're running their campaign.
Absolutely.
Frankly.
Gosh, that is so absolutely amazing. Meanwhile, here's what Kamala, a spokesperson for Kamala, was saying on MSNBC. Now, I want you to listen to this. If you're watching, you're going to get the problem with this quickly, but I'll explain for radio listeners in just a second. Here it is.
And that is probably one of the clearest contrasts that you're going to see in the last 3 weeks of this race. You're going to see the vice president out on the trail every single day talking about her ideas, going to these big media platforms to share her vision with the biggest number of Americans possible, while Donald Trump continues to sort of retreat into himself in the small MAGA universe that is all about him. And because that's all he's really interested in right now.
Right. Okay. So here's the thing. As he's talking, behind him is the video of Donald Trump in Chicago at an economic forum where he's doing an interview with a guy who completely disagrees with him.
Goes after him the entire time. It was a Bloomberg forum, right?
I mean, it's crazy. So
Bloomberg, the former Democratic presidential candidate.
Right. But he's in his small little universe.
Oh, okay.
His small little universe. I mean, listen, this is how contentious it got. Cut 2, please.
What does the Wall Street Journal know? I'm meeting with them tomorrow. What does the Wall Street Journal know? They've been wrong about everything. So have you, by the way. You've been wrong about
You're trying to turn this. You're trying to turn this.
You've been wrong about
You're trying to turn this into debate. There are business people. There are business
you're wrong.
people.
You've been wrong. You've been wrong all your life on this stuff.
So, and now, by the way, he walked into a room where it was not friendly. Standing ovation when he left, and the people that were there said he turned to like about half the crowd because he was. I've never heard a president who actually can speak with experience and deeply about economic and business issues. Like Ronald Reagan, he could speak about those things and he knew what he knew, but not from an experience of actually doing, not being able to talk to business people and say, look, I've been there, dude. I know exactly what's happening. It was really quite remarkable. And the interviewer just didn't get him at all. Listen to this. Cut 1.
How about this? Gavin Newsom, he's the governor of California.
Newsom.
He signed Newsom, I call him.
Yeah. But do you think?
No, he corrected me. He corrected me. I said, that's the first time I've been corrected.
There are CEOs out here. If they said those sort of things about a rival CEO, they'd be sacked. Do you think it's fine for a president?
But they don't have to survive like me. They don't have to go through what I have to go through. There has never been a president that's been treated like me, so I have to fight my own way.
Well, you made a.
This guy who's doing what's his name, Micklethwaite? Yeah, Micklethwaite. John Micklethwaite. Hello. Yes, Lord Micklethwaite is here. But he's not real popular with the crowd. At least a good portion of the crowd. Not real popular. And I love that answer from him. They don't have to deal with what I have to deal with. They don't have to deal with what I've had to do. No president has ever been treated this way.
I love that too. It's like such a stupid point. If a CEO said that, they'd be sacked. Well, Trump was a CEO, and he said stuff like that all the time.
I know.
I guess if you own the company, it doesn't happen.
Yeah,
that's one way of working on
it. People actually are really flocking to people who are real.
Yeah.
You may not like Donald Trump, but at least he's real. That's who he is, man. Mm-hmm. That's who he is. Who is Kamala? Seriously. Can anyone tell me who they think she really is?
I mean, I have my opinions, but I guess the whole point of her campaign is to hide who she is. That's the whole point. Right. This is why it's so incredible to hear, the commentator you played a couple seconds ago, where they're like, well, what Donald Trump is going to do is he's going to stay in his own MAGA base, and Kamala's going to be everywhere. She didn't do an interview for 80 days as a candidate. Most of them as a candidate. 80 days. She did no interviews for 80 days.
Until her campaign started to fall apart.
Until it started to fall apart, and all of a sudden, now we got to do all the interviews. It's like, did you? Not to mention, the previous candidate didn't do a cabinet meeting for multiple years.
It's crazy.
How can you possibly be out there
mental
arguing
illness?
These
things? It is a mental illness. I really believe, not all Democrats, but I think there is probably 20 to 30% of the country that is mentally ill right now. Mentally ill. There might be.
That's quite an accusation to say it's that low.
I mean, honestly, if we were not living in this everything is political kind of state, if you could go back 15 years and just have doctors look at people, and I'm bringing my daughter in. She thinks she's a dog, and she said that I should lose my stewardship over my 12-year-old daughter because she's a dog, and she wants her skin taken off and fur glued onto her,
or glue furred onto her.
Yeah, right.
One of the two.
One of the two.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm a panic father right now.
Exactly.
Okay, I'm trying to talk about the health of my daughter, and to have a doctor would say we need to put her in the hospital. Okay, we need to put her in the hospital. We need to have at least talk therapy. Now, everybody on the left, it seems, is like, oh, you monster. Come here, Fido. Come here.
Yeah.
Come here. Let me pet you. That's even creepy. Doc, you see what's happening over here? That's creepy.
Oh, well, then you need to go in the hospital if you think that's creepy.
That's right.
Right? That's where we are.
It's nuts.